in a quick thing too, I've been on a fast track trying to get to that 5,000 mark on the good old Instagram. And for the low cost of a few moments of your time right now, you get to hit that name, hit Instagram, and hit the follow. And you could make a watered down, heavy haired lad's day by going and hitting that button. You really could. You really could. I know I can only speak for myself because it is about myself, and I'm selfish. But if you go and you do that, I will be that much more happy. I'm just throwing that out. Because look, we're streaming without the cup today, everyone. I could be off my game, and I'm not wearing cologne. You know it's an off suited up if I'm not wearing the cologne, everybody. I know. He's not wearing the cologne. I got to warn Lemon Bay. Lemon Bay, this could go down in a fiery wreck. We don't know. We don't know. It's a non-cologne day. So, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest of the evening, Oh, it's already started. Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest of the evening, the one, the only, Miss Lemon Bay. Lemon Bay.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see you. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm excited. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited.
Nothing to be nervous about.
What's that?
If at any point you feel, like the nerves, just make fun of me or something. It's really easy. It's really easy. Okay. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is the Streaming with Pride edition. This is Lemon Bay. So everyone get acquainted. Hit the favorite if you have not. Lemon Bay, how long have you been on this wonderful platform?
I've been on Meet Me Live since it was a thing, but I never really took it serious until COVID. Sure. I remember before verses were a thing, before the date box was a thing, before bouncers were a thing.
Wow. It's like before me time.
When I joined, Meet Me was like single column when you would go down the live, so it was just one stream to the next.
Yeah, you are referencing the original UI, the original user face. So that is like way throwback. What's kept it here so long? I mean, there has to be something going right to keep you here this long.
When I first started streaming, I was just a viewer, and I was so scared because I was trans. I had never put myself on camera.
Sure.
Because it puts you in a different spot, especially when you're a new streamer. You're very vulnerable. But as time went on, I just didn't care about the hate comments, and I made a family on here. And
yeah.
Even with time, I have viewers who have been with me for just as long as I've been here.
Okay, wow. And having that type of following, building that type of community and support system, I think is essential. You said something in the beginning, which I also mentioned. Today's episode is Streamers with Pride edition. And you mentioned that you're trans. So again, this conversation, this episode is going to be a bit of a safe space. I think it's a place where people can also understand, where we can learn, because not all and not everyone knows the appropriate way to approach a conversation. So let's use this time to be somewhat educational. So Lemon Bay, when you say that you're trans, what does that mean to you, and how do you identify?
I'm just a trans female. I don't really put too much thought in it to myself, because I've just always only saw myself as a woman.
Yeah. So trans woman, so that would be the correct term to use then. So that's what you're most comfortable with. Okay, so trans woman. All right, and so do you find that when it comes to streaming, that there was a barrier? Did you feel some hesitancy? You said in the beginning that you are trans and you wouldn't know how that would translate to the live streaming world. How did that translate for you?
It was weird. Because when I first also started streaming, there were a lot of bugs with the app. You would kick people and they wouldn't get kicked, and then they would just go ham in the comments. And sure. I remember this one time specifically, like I had my first big stream, I had 7,000 viewers, and the comments were flying. And I kept it strong at that time, but it was all hate comments. My bouncers did all they could. They were kicking people, and I just wanted to have a good time. I probably should have restarted my stream at the moment, but after that, it was kind of like, it hurt in the moment. I called my mom, told her about it, because that was my first time ever experiencing anything like that.
Yeah.
And then I went live like the next day. I was like, it wasn't that bad. I can do it again.
Got it. You've got it. We won't get too personal with the questions, but I am curious, as someone who has gone through something like that, being on the receiving end, what would you say to someone who has not always been the most kind, or maybe unaware of how their words or their actions can affect someone who identifies as trans or is trans? How does that feel, and what should they understand about that?
I feel like trans doesn't make the person,
Mhm.
or like anyone, whether you're different in any way. People love to put others in boxes sometimes, and I don't really know what to say to them besides like maybe just be a little more kind. Like if you actually chilled and relaxed and got to know this person for who they were, not
Mhm.
who you labeled them as in your head,
Sure.
you guys might actually become really good friends.
Yeah, yeah, I like what you said there, and that's a truth throughout many things. I think within life is that the label should not come before the person. It's an attribute. It's not who you are. So, and that's why I said also in the beginning that while we'll talk about some of the streaming with pride aspects, this is really about who you are as a person, which is that's only one quality about you out of the many great qualities that you do have. For someone who maybe be in the beginning stages, obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, at least right now, you present yourself very confidently and that you're comfortable with who you are as a person. What would you say to someone who might be starting this journey? To someone who is trying to gain that confidence and may look to you as an example of someone as to where they want to be? What would you
I've,
say?
I've actually been that stepping stone for people before.
Wow.
Because I was around other trans people in high school, and it was a very interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some were really nice, others not so much, but I always wanted to be that person, like, hey, if you're beginning and you don't know where to go to, especially in like a small town, there's not a lot of resources for the LGBT community.
Sure.
And I would help my trans friends. I'd be like, I started hormones in Chicago. I would give them the place. They'd be like, oh, isn't it so expensive? And I was like, no, actually, it's only like less than $40 a month to get your medicine
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. And I help a lot of people, and I just love it, because you just see how their confidence booms because they just didn't have someone who was on their side as much or knew how to lead them in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can understand. Would you say that that is what helped you initially start to gain some confidence? Was that you had a support group, or you had people around you who had already kind of started that path? Was that what it was for you?
Yeah, it definitely was. As I built my family on here, that's what I call them, my bays. As I built them, like I realized that I don't even think about being trans twice anymore.
Wow.
Um, all I do is like just try to be a good person, and I don't
Yeah.
want to. I've never been the type of person to bully people. I don't understand those that do.
Hmm.
I just never have.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's a real person on the other end of the screen, and for whatever reason, the internet can bring out the greatest of people. It can also bring out the worst aspects of people. So at the end of the rundown, whoever that guy is who does it, he always says stream with respect. And I'd like to believe he really means that because there are real people on the end of these screens. And like just like you're a real person. So let's go back to you started streaming and you gained this confidence, and you just said that's now something that you're not mindful of. Can you highlight a couple of the best things that have happened to you since joining, and you've been here a while, or some of the more memorable things that have happened since joining?
I've met my amazing friend. Her name is Queen V. We live together now, and every day is just like a movie. I met her on Meet Me, and that has to be one of the best things that has ever happened to me on here. Because when I was streaming, I moved out at 18 and I've lived by myself in this really small town. I didn't have anything to do besides stream. go to work, come home, bored, stream.
Yeah.
And when I met her, everything just blossomed. Like this friendship just grew into like a sisterhood.
So you made your best friend on the platform. I guess if you're gonna talk about highlights, that's a pretty good starting point. is making best friends. Was it scary meeting that person for the first time, or did you feel like you had already known them for so long?
I definitely already knew him because we would talk on the phone every day for hours. Nothing changed. It was just like there wasn't a camera on us anymore. It was like we can
Wow.
actually go out to eat together and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, and boom, there you are now, roommates. So outside of the platform, that's obviously one aspect of your life. What else do you keep busy with? Do you have any hobbies, talents, things that people wouldn't expect?
I'm actually really good at planting flowers. I'm outside. I have a whole little garden and
Okay.
some roses back there.
Yeah.
And I actually have some reptiles. I have 3 lizards.
3 lizards?
Yeah.
What type of lizards do you have?
They're bearded dragons. I have 2 bearded dragons and a leopard gecko.
I know a guy with a pet show that would love to see these lizards that you have. How does someone get into reptiles? I don't know that like one day someone just goes out and says, I might get a cat dog, or how about an iguana? An iguana could be cool too. Is that something you'd always wanted?
I don't know. Well, honestly, yes. Since when I was a kid, I had walked into a store with my mom and I saw a white bearded dragon. It just looked so cool. And I told her I wanted one, but mom was like, no. And I went to a pet store to get my dog some food because I have a pit bull and a little rat terrier. I went to go get them some food and I saw these 2 little itty bitty bearded dragons, the size of my finger. And they were just so kind and they had this personality. Like you would think they'd be scared of you, but he'd just like run up my arm and just chill. I'm like, I actually like this little dude. He's kind of cool.
Yeah. You have like a guard lizard or something, beware of
I could
lizard.
grab him and then he'd just like chill on my
I would hate to steal that content from the pet show guy, but part of me wants you to at some point. So lizard wrangler. Apparently, lizard wrangler would never expect that. What are some things that you're looking forward to, whether it's on the platform, off of the platform? Anything that you're planning on?
I just want to keep building my family on here. I have a lot of awesome people in here. I see Dalvin, I see Burkanavis. Me and Burkanavis were chilling before I came in here. I just want to keep making a really good impression on people and letting them know that you can be yourself on Meet Me. You can get that love and support.
Yeah, it's inspiring to hear that you've had that experience, because we hear more often than not that people have some shyness when it comes to streaming for the first time. They don't know if someone's going to like them, if anyone's going to want to talk to them. It sounds like you had an extra hurdle that you were able to overcome, which can work to help I use that word inspire, but inspire someone else to try and go live. You mentioned actually earlier that you've been, and I'll use your term, a stepping stone. Can you talk to us about one of those stepping stone times, or a time where you helped someone take that next step as to what they were looking for?
As I've gone through my transition, I've learned a lot of tips and tricks, a lot of things that people have trouble finding, like how to do your hair, what's your style, what stores did you shop at, what looks good on you, and I would give my honest opinion and things like that and help them find their own style and slay their hair, lay them edges, and then I don't know, I can't really put it into words.
A lot of moral support. It's a lot of a little styling tip, a little you look great here or there. I think those add up to really build up a person.
It just helps them have that big smile on their face when they go outside, and I really can't put it into words. It's just humbling, It's really humbling.
My grandma texts me after the show and tells me that I look handsome. And so I just tell you all, I'm not bragging or anything, but my grandma, she maybe said 1 or 2 times she thought I was handsome. Whatever. It's Suited Up, everyone. Welcome to it. We do this every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Right now, we've got Lemon Bay in the box. If you've not, make sure you hit it with a favorite. Make sure not to go anywhere because we have 2 other streamers, Mej and Mari, who we'll also be talking with. It's Streaming with Pride tonight. Lemon Bay, does that terminology mean something to you, this Streaming with Pride? Do you feel like it does a good thing, or do you think it sensationalizes Pride? So what's your hot take on Pride Month?
I feel like a lot of people get caught up in social media.
Okay. Man.
Pride to me, in a way, I'm happy that I'm strong enough to show my face every day on here. Maybe some people would call that pride, but I'm just more prideful that I'm here and
Yeah.
I'm as happy as I can be,
Yeah. This is it's the right mindset. That confidence, optimism, those types of things. You speak it, you live it, you do it, which is fantastic. So, Lemon Bay, before you go, is there anything that is top of mind that you'd either like to share that is important to you? It can be in line with tonight's theme, or just something in general you want to talk about. It could be more about your lizards if you want, but the floor is totally yours.
I just have to tell people to don't be afraid to be yourself. There's always going to be that support system. You might doubt yourself, and then you're going to go live, and there's going to be people that it's weird to put it into words, but when I'm having a bad day, Meet Me is my foundation. I come here and sometimes I'll vent, and I end up leaving so much happier because my support system on here, they let me know to keep your chin up, and no matter what happens, we love you.
Wow.
You're always going to build connections on here. So that's what Streaming with Pride means.
Streaming with Pride. Wow. There you go, everyone. Make sure you're hitting the favorite button. Time out, Chris. You forgot to ask a question. Okay. Lemon Bay. Why is your name Lemon Bay? Because lemons are sour, and you don't seem like a very sour person. So how did you ever land on Lemon Bay?
Lemons are misunderstood. Lemons are refreshing. Lemons are good for the soul. It's like on a hot summer day, Lemon Bay is here for you.
I like that.
I can't get sour. But
She can get sour. So don't catch that end. But when life gives you lemons, make Lemon Bay. Is that how that works?
When life gives you lemons, give them to Lemon Bay.
Give them to Lemon Bay. We like it. That's Lemon Bay, everyone. Make sure you hit the favorite button on her. Check her live streams out. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Anytime, Chris. I was so happy to be a guest.
I was excited to have you as a guest. So it all worked out for everybody. Perfect. Well, see you later, Lemon Bay. Thank you so much. That was our first guest. What is going on with that? What is going on, everyone, with you? What's going on with you? My name's Chris. Welcome to Suited Up. We do this show every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Real quick, a big shout out to the top 3 gifters so far today, Mr. Bob, Lisette, and Yummy Mommy. Maybe she's a great cook. Who knows? Does that sound right? Could be right. If it's your first time here and you're thinking, why do you have a suit on, sir? Do you not know that it's warm out? I do. I learned earlier that it's hot out. Turns out also that for the past 2 years, I've gone on every Wednesday, 9 p.m. and brought on 3 guests. And these guests can be from both on and off the platform. They can be influencers, comedians. They can be better interviewers, probably, musical artists, shoe collectors. Maybe they have a pet rock collection that you just need to know about. Well, if you want to find out about the things that are happening in the live community, watch the rundown. Just ignore this show. But if you want to find out about great streamers, also watch the rundown. So anyway, check it out. Our second guest tonight is Mej. And let me tell you something about Mej. there's not a leaderboard you won't find this person on. All right, so let's just get that out of the way. Mej, if you can request the box, make sure you don't go anywhere, anyone, because after Mej, we also have Mari, another streamer, streaming with pride. So we got to make sure that we get the full show in. So if you're just tuning in, you already missed someone, but it's not too late. We have 2 more guests. Thank you to Lemon Bay and everyone. Our second guest tonight, the leaderboard dominator, Mej. Hello, Mej.
All right. How are you, Chris?
I'm in there. I'm hanging out. I'm doing well. How about yourself? You doing pretty well?
I feel like a virgin on prom night. So a little bit nervous, a lot of excitement. So I'm here for the experience. Let's go.
I don't know. I'm listening. The judges say that's a pass. You could say that. Okay, that's a pass. The judges say it's a pass. I don't know. Okay.
Perfect.
So Mej, welcome to the show. You're a little nervous. You're a little excited. I don't know why you'd be nervous because you got to be used to having the spotlight on you. According to my records, you have won the last 289,000 contests. Does that sound accurate?
It's 292, but you're close. So
It's
I'll give you
close.
a pass.
The 292 contests. I'm pretty sure we've had less than that. You've actually won more contests than we've ever even ran. How do you do it?
A lot of trickery, a lot of illusion, a lot of quick thinking, and a lot of make-believe.
Well, we're not making believe a lot of things. And one thing we're not making believe is how personable you are. You've developed a pretty large following quickly on here, would you say? How long actually have you been streaming for?
I started in January, and pretty much for the same reason a lot of others started. COVID, locked in. Thank you so much. Locked in. So I stumbled upon the lives, and I got intrigued by quite a few of the characters or streamers, and gifted a lot. And because I liked a lot of the personalities, I liked some of the content as I was moving around the app. And then I was encouraged to start streaming for myself.
Sure.
And I gave it a go in February. And since then, I haven't stopped. I've kept on it. And I didn't think I was going to, but I did.
Didn't think you would. Started in January, began streaming in February. Why the pause? Why didn't you just hot out the gate, just go for it?
Well, I wasn't very comfortable being a gay person. A lot of the streams that I popped into were, predominantly, straight. There wasn't any gay show of sorts. There wasn't any content that I found myself easily drawn into. And so it was a little off-putting. I lurked a lot. I stayed in the back. And then I wasn't sure, what reception I was going to be given once I took the spotlight.
Yeah.
And it seems like the spotlight is off you for a bit.
Off.
So I wasn't quite sure of the reception that I was going to be given, based on, seeing some trolls in certain rooms and, being a little, apprehensive of giving it a shot myself. But I did.
Wow. Did at any point, and maybe looking back, maybe this was something you hadn't considered, did at any point did you think, hey, I'm not seeing something that would make me comfortable? What if I was the starting point?
Absolutely. And that's why I do spend a lot of time jumping into, hopping into a bunch of rooms to see or identify something I can create. And I've actually thought of quite a few things because I see it as an opportunity to draw, a target audience in that I've not seen present in a lot of streamers. Mm-hmm. So I have given it some thought, and that's why I do a lot of jumping into rooms, and I do my streaming, and I see the kind of audience I can attract. And, so it will enable me to target more of the, the gay community. Mm-hmm. So I have thought of quite a few ideas to actually draw in even new viewership, because there is a lacking, there's lacking content, that's geared towards the target gay community.
You're doing a fantastic job of being like, hey, Chris, get on something. I'm like, I'm hearing you, Mej. I'm hearing you. Okay, chill. All right, chill. Mej, Lemon Bay said before she went live, she was worried about the reception the community would have. Hers was positive. She said, yeah, I got trolls. There were some days that were really hard, but overwhelmingly, I've built confidence and I've helped become a stepping stone. How about for you? You know, speak freely here. Was it a positive reaction? Did you go live?
I did have a positive reaction, and you know what? That's why I spent, you know, that first, I would say 6 weeks being in a lot of rooms. So when I went live, I had this huge support that came out and stood in my room for the entire time. And they said, if ever you feel uncomfortable at any point that you do, there's an X button, get off of it, and, you know, let's chat. And I'd gotten contacts to say, hey, if you ever feel uncomfortable, we're here. So I'm going to knock on wood that I have not had, you know, a huge backlash of people hating on me because I'm gay. So
it you know, it dawned on me as you said that it's really it's an awful thing that even has to be brought into consideration. You know, like and that's really a larger topic. There is, you know, like one aspect of yourself could potentially become so worrisome that it impacts whether or not you feel like you could or should even go live. I'm so happy to hear that stereotype of the internet being just full of mean people and trolls, it didn't come to fruition. That's one of the best things, you know, that I think I could hear. What would you say to other people who are like you and considered going live, but maybe it's not how they sexually identify, but maybe it's they don't think they talk very well, or they're unconfident with their style. It could be any number of reasons. What would you say to the person who doesn't have that confidence?
I would say the first thing to do is have a conversation with yourself about your purpose on the app. Why is it that you came to the app and what you were looking to accomplish? It's your purpose. So if your purpose was to affect change or create a community on here, keep at it. Listen, there's always a bumpy road ahead. A lot of people might have it a little smoother, but it's a long run. And there are going to be bumps, just like the Wizard of Oz and Dorothy on that yellow brick road. You're going to be faced with a lot of different elements. But if you know your purpose, you're going to, you know, stick it out and surround yourself with a good support system. And that's exactly what I have done. And that's what I continue to do, you know, on my journey. So most important thing, have a conversation with yourself about your purpose on here. If you just want to be in rooms and sit there and listen, you'd rather be the recipient, or you would like to be, you know, set a platform and go for it and be that vocal person, then do that. So that's my take on it.
I follow. If you're just tuning in for the first time, everyone, this is Mej. This is an interview style show every week at 9. Make sure you're hitting the favorite button. Don't go anywhere because we've got a lot more show left. Mej, you used a strong word there twice. You said the word purpose. Curious, what would you consider to be your purpose? Or are you still finding it? Have you found it? Loaded question, but definitely want to know that hot take.
Absolutely. And a good question. I have found a purpose, and I found several purposes for my path on here. And one I briefly speak on because it incorporates both, it will incorporate all the communities. And I think what this app is lacking, for lack of another word, is that we need a mentorship program on here. And it's identifying top badges or top streamers who can actually devote and dedicate some of their time to developing streamers on here. And that's something that I would like to, you know, to work on, as in creating a show that involves mentors, and those mentors would guide the person through, you know, their path and journey on here. So that's one of my purposes that I'm working on.
You'd like to help cultivate other great content and streamers.
Absolutely. Maybe a featured show that, you know, coaches worked with several people so they can actually create a featured show of sorts on the platform.
Sure. I hear you. I follow where you're going with it. So I'll ask you the same question. In fact, I'm going to ask everyone who's a guest tonight this question. Streaming with pride. What does that mean to you? And do you feel like it's sensationalized? Do you feel like it actually detracts from the community, or do you believe that it does a good thing and it adds? What's your opinion on that?
I definitely think it adds because it brings more awareness. So it's not that people are not aware of, but it just gives the added awareness. There are the gifts. There are people who are willing to talk more about it. There are parades going on all across the city. People can, wear colorful colors. And I think the conversation is a lot louder. So I do think that it brings more awareness. The conversation is definitely louder. People are talking more about it because it's happening. Events are happening. So the conversation becomes a little louder.
Okay. Streaming with pride, you say, yes, conversations louder, bring attention. I like that. Mej, there's a million and one things we could talk about tonight, but I obviously had my agenda of things to talk about. What about you, though? Is there something that was top of mind for you, whether it's streaming with pride or your favorite color to maybe a cereal that we should all be aware of? Is there something that's top of mind that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I must give a famous plug. I do host a musical talent showcase on Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So must give a plug. I love music. And that's one of the reasons I created my talent showcase. Not a competition. It's just a showcase. So I must plug it. I'm a big fan of all types of music. So everyone is invited. It's a big old party. All we're going to do, it's a mini concert. And so that's what I've created. And it's like my little baby. I do jump into a lot of streams that are, musically inclined to see if I can pull some of those participants for my show and just to enjoy a good vibe. So it's all about creating a good vibe.
Creating vibe, creating content. Do you have a history or background in any type of content creation? Were you in theater or performer?
Strange enough, none.
Huh.
My background is actually in forensic psychology, so completely different from this realm. So no performer, but yeah.
A
completely
forensic psychologist is hanging out in this box right now?
Kind of, sort of. No longer doing it, but yeah, that was one of my previous jobs.
But all the people in this room who had their murder mystery buzzer go off, or their New York NCIS, what is it, CSI TV show, right? It's so popular right now. Are you into that? Do you like the radio shows and all that?
Love it, love it, love it. Law and Order, the FBI, the profiling. I used to be a big fan of The Profiler way back. I'm not sure if anyone knows about that show, but way back, used to be a big fan. And so, yeah, I'm all into, mysteries and solving them and figuring out, what's behind someone's mind and the why things were done.
Yeah.
So always a reason. You might not know it, but subconsciously there's always a reason.
Asking the why is a powerful thing. The reason that someone does something. Well, excellent. Well, if you have not, everyone, make sure that you're hitting the favorite button on Mej. It's a mandatory. You got it. You got it. How could you not? Check out the music, check out the show, check out the content. Maybe you can find a mentor or a friend, or both. Who knows? Hit the favorite, right? Mej, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, inviting me to be a part of your show.
I'm excited that you were here. Thank you, and we appreciate you. Look forward to hearing and seeing more of the things that you have coming up.
Thank you.
Definitely. Cheers, everyone. Make sure you hit that favorite button on Mej. And my name's Chris. It's nice to see you. Welcome to Suit It Up. We do this show what day of the week is it? It's Wednesday? Great. Confirmed that it is Wednesday? Okay, yes. We do this show every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as a bonus, I can tell you that sometimes it's pretty good. Other times, I have no idea what I'm doing. So you got to really roll the dice and just see what happens. Half the people come here just to see that and to count how many times I plug the show. So, whatever you like to do. I'm not judging. Your prerogative. We do the show every Wednesday at 9, though, speaking of doing the plug. And it's an interview style show where we bring on up and comers, streamers, people who are both on and off the app. Maybe they have the world record for tying their shoelaces. I have not interviewed that person, but if we could find a way, maybe. Now, I do have to say this too. I'm going to announce this on the rundown as well. Anyone who says it's the thing for me, like for example, it's the support for me, it's the gifts for me, it's the drinking water for me, there's a possibility that your account could just disappear. I can't confirm or deny that, but if you say that, if you say it's the whatever for me, just like how people were saying hello, did you notice that? Did you notice that trend? That was a trend, right? The hello? You remember hello? Oh, what's good? Hello? No, we're done with that trend too. We're done with that trend. We're done with the it's whatever for me. It's the hello for me. No, never happening. All right, we're done. Get rid of it. Thank you. All right, my name is Chris, back to Happy. Our last guest tonight is Mari, and if you're just tuning in, you missed Lemon Bay and Mej, and Mari's requesting the box right now, right? Right. And if you have interest in being on this show, make a bunch of Instagram accounts, and first click my name and hit follow, because we're almost to that 5K, and I can tell you, I might be super excited if that were to happen. I will be as excited as this carpet right now. That's as excited as I'd be, maybe, possibly. But then reach out to Skylight. Reach out to Skylight, then reach out to Raider Rob. Check your hair in the mirror. Do what you gotta do. That's Skylight right there. Whoa! Thank you for that. That's 27. That's 27 too. All right, on that note, Mari, welcome to the box. Again, everyone, while we do these conversations, I do not acknowledge gifts. I do not acknowledge comments. And that's because I'm about to get corrected. Was I saying your name wrong?
It's Mari.
Mari.
Yeah.
I'm rude, Mari.
It's okay. You got to put the Spanish twist to it, you know?
Can you rate the tongue roll? Is it like Mari? Like that?
Yeah, you got to roll the R, you know? You got to make it a little spicy. Mari.
Mari.
You know?
Okay. I'm behind it. I hear it's a thing that not everyone can roll their tongue. So what if I was just like Mari? I don't think that'd be right.
You can say however you want to, Chris. It's okay.
I cannot. This is your name. That's important. That's the worst thing. As I might actually lose my gig. The judges are. I don't have to. The judges that are over here are telling me, Chris, the first rule of having an interview is don't get your interviewee's name wrong. So we'll just chalk that one up. Mari, though, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
I heard about you first through this. There's this kind of group of people who run around on the app. They call themselves the models. And
yeah, I heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they cause me a lot of trouble. Is it true that you were wrapped up with these folks or might be affiliated with some of these folks?
I would say so, yes.
You would say so. That's how you first got on my radar. But how did you get on the radar of the platform? Let's go from the beginning to the beginning. How did you first wind up here?
Well, I've been on POF for a while, since for a long time. And then I realized that it had a live feature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's this? But knowing me, like, I'm really shy. So I started off as a gifter.
Started out as a gifter.
Yeah, I would just go to different people's streams and, stuff like that. Everybody would always encourage me. They always said, you would be good if you streamed, like, you would do good, like, you like to help people and give people advice. And because I'm so shy, like, I never really wanted to do that. And then one day I just did it, and here I am.
You just did it on the Plenty of Fish. We're going to talk about Plenty of Fish in a moment, because anytime someone says they joined Plenty of Fish, I get a whole lot of questions that I want to ask. So I hope you're okay with that. But started out as a viewer, then became a gifter, then became a streamer. What was it that made you want to get into that gifting portion of it? Because some people gift because they go live and they're like, yeah, we support each other. But when you don't go live and gift, it's because you genuinely support the stream. What were you seeing that you that resonated with you, that said, this is something, you know what, that I want to be a part of, something I want to support?
Well, what makes me support someone is, I don't know, I just go off of vibes, you know, like I make sure, you know, because sometimes, you know, you have to give for the right reasons. You know, you have to really truly support that person without expecting anything back. And there's just a lot of people that I've come across that they just always gave me that good vibe, and I go off of that. And it doesn't really matter if they ever come to my stream or not. I try to make things go off of just positive energy. If you have positive energy, then it just encourages me. Like, it just inspires me to gift you and to support you. And there's like different levels to support also. It's not all about gifting. I always say that on my stream.
I hear that. When you say the vibe is right, you know, the vibe can mean a lot of things. Is it that you see them and they make you laugh? Is that they treat other people with respect? It's that they're quick-witted? You know, what would be some of the things that you look for when it comes to picking out a favorite or starting to get into the habit of visiting someone's stream?
It's just positive energy all around. If you make me laugh, if you're kind to people, if you help people, just positive energy all around.
Sure.
That's really just it for me. It could be
like,
a combination of a lot of things.
Like Chris, is pretty obvious. If they got a good vibe, that's what it is, man. Quit poking around. I got it. But you ended up going live yourself. Now, the same question that I asked the two prior guests, which was, why was there a delay? Why did you not initially try and go live yourself?
Because I'm really shy. I'm shy right now. Like, my hands are crossed, like I'm shaking, like I get anxiety, like it's terrible. It's terrible.
Is my smile making nervous?
I just wanted to make sure that when I did go live, I wasn't acting like a damn fool.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? I feel like you've got it under control right now. You got
I'm
it.
trying. Thank you. Thank you.
You're good to go. So when you did go live, what ended up happening? Was it all the fears were actualized and it actually wasn't that nice of a place, or did you end up finding that you had some friendships? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, once I went live, I kind of already had a support system. So when I went live, I kind of felt great because those people then came back and supported me on the stream, talked to me. So my first couple streams were pretty good because I already built like that support. Like, the people that I supported, they would come and support me and, you know, press the hearts gift or, you know, comment, whatever, get in the box. So it was really easy in the beginning. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, basically.
Okay. That's a theme tonight, it appears, is that people join, they're not quite sure what the reception will be,
Right.
and they go live, and it turns out that they've got these communities and these friends. So what would your advice be? Same question. What would your advice be to someone who's feeling a little shy about trying this for the first time?
It's really not as bad as you, like, anxiety is all in your mind. Shyness is really what we think people are going to think of us. And we probably shouldn't be worried about that. You know, we should have confidence in ourselves. If we don't have confidence in ourselves, then nobody's going to have that in us.
Absolutely.
So,
I hear that.
and this platform has helped me with my confidence, actually, and talking to people and all of that. It really has helped. Even though I'm still shy, it has helped a lot.
Being a little bit shy can also keep you out of trouble. Sometimes I just thought,
yeah, it can.
Like, wow, wish I was not an extrovert. So, you know, sometimes you never know. Now, the theme of the night was streaming with pride. And I want to know, same question I asked everyone else, is that what does that mean to you to begin with? What does it mean to stream with pride?
Stream with pride, I mean, just to be proud of yourself and be free. Really, pride to me really means to be free. Don't worry about what anyone has to say or the judgments. Just be yourself and be free and be comfortable in your own skin, and that's it. Just be comfortable.
Would you say that that's been the case for you? Would you say that shyness does not necessarily mean that you're not a confident person, or what would you say?
It can mean that sometimes. In my case, no, it doesn't mean that. I'm just a shy person. Sometimes, you know, maybe sometimes I do care about what people think, but I'm working on that. I'm working on it.
Sometimes that's okay. You know, be mindful of what other people may think if you say something, right? We want to take into consideration that. Okay, so as we kind of begin to wrap this up, everyone, make sure that you're hitting the favorite button on Mari, right? You gotta hit the favorite button on her. Talk to us about life outside of the platform. Who are you? You say you're shy, but I get the feeling that you have a pretty cool group of friends, or you're involved in some pretty fun things.
Yeah, I mean, and it's weird because my job really doesn't require me to be shy. Like I'm a corrections officer. So
whoa.
Yeah. So like I can't be shy in the jails, you know. So you know,
Yeah.
I gotta act like I have some type of power. But it's, you know, I'm really the same person that I am on the app outside of the app. Really.
Yeah.
I'm really not two different people at all. I try to give myself like who I really am on the stream. So you're gonna get the same person.
As a corrections officer, like if you were to give me a list of jobs, that would not be the first one that I pick out for someone who self-describes themselves as shy. It's like, get back to your cell when you
right.
if you want to. You don't have to go back to your cell. What was going through your mind the first day of work? Were you petrified?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. In my job, I would say I'm much different in my job.
Okay.
Like I kind of put on that mask, and it's like I'm definitely not shy.
So what you're telling me is that it was more nerve-wracking to go live for the first time than it was to go work in a jail?
It was. Honestly, it really was. It really was.
Whoa! Like when you think about it and put it together, like that's intense.
I know, it makes absolutely no sense. Listen, I didn't say it had to make sense.
It doesn't.
I didn't say it had to make sense.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So whether it's streaming with pride or it's being a corrections officer, there's a lot of directions we could take this conversation. But as we start to wind down our time, I want to give you the floor. Is there anything that you're passionate about? Maybe you had a great burger the other day, or you know of a good brand of water we should all try. Anything that you want to talk about while you're in the box?
I actually did have a good burger. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You did?
I did just have a really good burger from Wendy's. I really did. That was a really
stop
good
everything we're doing right now, because now we have to talk about this. What burger was it? I actually want to know what burger was it.
The son of a baconator. That's what I had.
And it's a pun. Is there Burger of the Year awards? Because that needs it. Son of a son of a
baconator. Everybody go try it if you haven't already done so.
All right, not endorsed, but you know. Okay, so jokes aside, you had a great burger, but is there anything else?
Oh, that's it, man. I appreciate the time, for real.
I appreciate
the time. Appreciate all of you in the comments. Appreciate the gifts.
Yeah, I appreciate your time as well. If you have not favorited Mari, everyone, make sure that you do, and make sure you roll your R's right. Otherwise, it might just so happen she happens to be a corrections officer. You might find yourself in a particular place, so you better come with correct.
You might need me, yeah.
So you don't have to say, but how messed up would it be? You were at your job, and someone's like, "Hey, I've seen you before."
Like, oh goodness, no, you haven't. No.
All right, you're the shy person from Chris, right? Now, make sure you're hitting her with the favorite, everyone. This is Mari. Check her out, her streams. Obviously, a fantastic person. Much love to you. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, absolutely. There you go, everyone. Hit her with the favorite. Also, let's go ahead and talk about these gifters, all right? Because I saw Waldo coming through thinking he was going to stop the show. We don't stop the show for gifts, all right? You could send perpetual dragons and maybe I would, like flinch or something. I don't know. I can tell you this, true story. When the dragon, Skylight, by the way, is requesting the box, everyone, right now. Should she? Maybe. Skylight, if you want to do that. When the dragon first came out, it was only on the wheel. We got a dragon rolled on us. And guess what? Yeah. No react game. Even better. You look very disrespectful. That or like you have your screen turned off. Who knows? But if this is your first time and you're curious, why does this guy make a habit of not thanking his gifters? And why do people keep gifting him? To the second part, I have no idea. But to the first part, it's because it's suited up. And we do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to give a big shout out to Waldo, to Raider Rob, Valerie, Lisette, Mr. Bob. Those are the top 3. Or top 5. I can't count. I took algebra 4 times. Skylight, come save me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Skylight, our...
Congratulations on 27 million.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Welcome
It's the 27 for me.
27, 3
It-
years. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You know...
All right. So, you kept asking a couple of streamers what is streaming with pride with them. And I had a quote that I wanted to share real quick from Barack Obama. It says, when all Americans are treated as equal, no matter who they are or who they love, we are all more free. Just wanted to share that little quote. I thought it was nice. So we had Lemon Bay, a.k.a. Lizard Bay, that came in, who was a proud trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a reptile owner, and she's super great at fishing. If you didn't know that, she could probably get a shark out of the Pacific Ocean if there are sharks in the Pacific Ocean.
Do you think she's ever caught a lizard while fishing?
No, but I bet she brought her lizards while she was fishing.
She has? That seems
I don't
dangerous.
know. I'm sure she has. I would.
Okay. All
Can
right.
you okay. I hate sharks. And then we had, and a quick fun fact that she lives with Queen Bee. If you guys don't know who Queen Bee is, she's a top streamer on the app. She's awesome. Okay. And then we had Madge. We had the wonderful Madge, who was born in Guyana, South America. If you guys didn't know that. Yes.
How did you withhold that information from me?
I actually sent it to you. I'll send you a screenshot. I sent you all of this.
That sounds accurate. Probably sounds accurate, yeah.
I did. And Madge also has a musical showcase every Monday between the times of 3 to 6 EST. Madge was great. Then we had Mari. I can't roll the R's, Mari, so you're going to have to just block me. Yeah.
Let's do it together. Mari, are you still here? Let's multi-box for the first time ever. You're on the spot, Skylight. Mari, request the box because we're learning to roll R's today.
Hashtag learn how to roll
Did
R.
she leave already? She's like, I'm done. No, she didn't. Ladies and gentlemen. So if any of you would like
No,
to
he's not.
inquire
Okay,
about that,
moving
send
on.
your inquiry to Skylight for her job. But we
Whoever's
should-
in me, I will block you. Okay, so Mari is a full-time correction officer at a both-sex prison, which is insane. It sounds dangerous. And she loves R&B, you guys. So we had Lemon Bay, Mari, and Madge here on Sue It Up Edition, streaming with Pride. Next week, same time, same place, Wednesday, June 30th at 9 p.m. EST, we have Lexi, Don't Disney, and Black Magic next week on Sue It Up with this guy wearing a suit in 90-degree weather. And it has me wearing a suit too, and I'm hot. I'm ready to go.
Wow.
I'm sweating.
Hey, Skylight, I heard that there's a new show that premiered this week. Is that true?
What show? You guys,
Um,
stop. I have a new show on the
Well, that's our time today, everyone. So, if you're curious about Suited Up, this is a show we do every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us bringing on the greatest up-and-coming talent, people who are both on and off of the platform. And you never know, maybe it will be you who's coming on the show. Oh my gosh. It could be like more miserable, I can't say that. It's a tough one. Make sure you check him out. He's on at 10. He does his thing. He's on right after this. My name's Chris. Please stream with respect. And if you feel so inclined, if you hit my name up there, it will transport you to the magical land of Instagram where you could hit that follow. And if you do, hang on, we're getting static here, everybody. If you do, we're super close to that 5K. I really appreciate it if you did.
Glitches so much.
It's so
crazy.
weird. It's that glitch, how it happens. So what were you saying?
You should call someone about that. I think you're an admin, right? You could do that. Okay, so on Mondays at 4 p.m. EST, y'all, I have a show called Plate and Rate where I do mukbangs, food reviews, and different challenges every Monday at 4 p.m. EST. If you'd like to be on the show, message me or message Chris, actually.
What is a mukbang?
Yeah, so a mukbang is a Chinese term, and it means eating in front of a camera with a surplus of food. So that's a good question. So when I did a soul food mukbang, they asked me, why do you have so much food? Mukbangs are a lot of food. It's not just you eat a bowl of cereal and say, oh, this is a mukbang. No, you eat a lot of food, and you just grub on it.
All right. I'm into it. What can we expect next week?
I am doing a hot wing challenge. So I am doing a hot wing challenge with a new show called Wings and Things with Smooth Dark Skin. We ordered our own hot sauces from Amazon, super hot. We have to eat all of the wings, 12 different sauces, hot, hot, hot. Dangerous hot. Don't do it unless you consult with a doctor first.
Wow. All right. Hit her with the favorite, everyone. She takes care of this show. She helps keep the ship running. You can check her out on her own show every Monday. My name's Chris. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you go check out our guy Moore. He's doing the pet profiles right now. Until then, you can catch me on Friday, another guy who looks like me on Friday on The Rundown, where we'll be going over top badge announcements, new shows, contest results, and everything else you need to know being part of this community. I'll see you later. Goodbye.